Hey friends, it's Violet. I hope that you're well, but I just want to share a life update with you. You'll see me doing a lot of this. This is kind of going to be like a first trimester update. We're going to talk about pregnancy, sex, a lot of female issues. So yes, I am pregnant. I'm expecting. What's going on with the spitting is I've been having excessive saliva. It's one of the side effects of having just like super elevated hormones. I've been having it since April. Right now this is June, so it's kind of been like nearly 2.5 months. It's super annoying. We'll talk about it, but I just wanted to be real. This whole video is just about being real. It comes from a place of love and encouragement, and I just want to talk to the ladies especially to just say, if you are pregnant, if you are expecting and you are not feeling so overjoyed because you've just been feeling so sick, it's okay to not be okay. You're not a bad person, you're not a bad mom. Children are a blessing. Children come from God. And first of all, I just want to say to God, I'm super grateful for the precious life that I'm carrying. But if you are like me, personally, getting pregnant has not been a struggle for me. This is my second pregnancy. I have a 5-year-old son, and currently pregnant with my second. The getting pregnant part hasn't been a struggle, but especially in the first trimester and even getting into the second trimester, like I've still had nausea, some vomiting, struggling with saliva, just really uncomfortable symptoms. Today was a tricky day. Like it's been like 4 or 5 times just like throughout the day I'll eat and then I'll puke, not like necessarily everything. One time I ended up just throwing up everything, but it hasn't been like that for a while now. I'm kind of around halfway in through this pregnancy. I don't really want to say exactly how many weeks. That's my privacy. I want to share about my pregnancy in a very tasteful way, with discretion. It's my body. I also have my spouse, my marriage, and this channel focuses a lot on music. For those people who are just getting used to me, you can check out my channel. I am a musician, a worship leader. Been a worship leader at my local church for like the past 12 years, 13 years. I'm a singer-songwriter. Been playing guitar since I was 12, writing songs, being inspired by so many artists. And I do a lot of covers. I teach, I tutor. So this channel showcases that, and I focus a lot on that. But then I was saying a few months ago, I found out I was pregnant, and then started getting sick, started just writing on my community tab, just saying I wasn't feeling well. I didn't want to say that I was pregnant at the time because I was still in my first trimester, and you're always advised wait until you get into the second trimester when the risk of miscarriage greatly reduces. So I'm in my second trimester, and I just wanted to talk about some of the things I've been going through. My nose is stuffy. We're getting into winter. Like it's just been a couple days of cold weather, and I was fine, and then I just started sneezing. Last night I had a bad sore throat. The other night I was coughing quite a bit, so just been hydrating, taking lemon, ginger, and everything. But like I said, I just want to be real with all of you guys, and I hope that this can be an encouragement. And to my subscribers, I just pray that you can bear with me, because it is tough when it is tough as a content creator when you are trying to put out content. Like I have my family, I have my livelihood, which gives me money, income to support my family, and then this is not something that I am relying on with YouTube, but it's a desire for me to keep doing this even as I'm transitioning into having another child. So this is just a plea as well. Please support me. I think there's a lot of myths about pregnancy being a super glamorous thing, but a lot of people struggle, and we are told, enjoy your pregnancy, congratulations, and I've had all kinds of well wishes, but it has been tough. especially since, just to give a context with my son, my first pregnancy, I had a lot of terrible nausea and vomiting. I also experienced the saliva. I had to stay with my parents for 2 months. I struggled with depression during the pregnancy. It was extremely difficult. Then when my son was born, I experienced postnatal depression, a lot of just intense feelings of anxiety, insomnia, sleep deprivation. I would even have hallucinations just from the sheer level of exhaustion. And I've gone through so much, just going through 5 years of intense motherhood. And children come from God. That's something I've truly learned. And even this time around, I was not planning or trying to get pregnant. I've been on long-term birth control for the past 5 years. Was really reliable. Did have some side effects, but I just decided to persevere until I felt ready. And I've just been struggling with having a boy and dealing with the energy and the aggression and so many things. So I really just wanted to take my time. But yeah, a couple of months ago, my period was late and I was feeling super uncomfortable. I was feeling bloated, and I'm not the kind of person where I have irregular periods. So I was concerned, like, what's going on? And I actually did start my period, a little bit of spotting, just kind of like a drop, and then yeah, I just never continued. Got a pregnancy test, and I actually have one of them here. And it's one of those tests where if there are 2 lines, you're pregnant. If there's 1 line, you're not pregnant. So there were 2 lines, but the second line was really faint, and I was just super skeptical. We did a couple at home. My husband was convinced. He was like, congratulations. Okay, I don't know if you can see. Yeah. Let me actually, I kind of have to do that. But yeah, those are like 2 lines. I hope my camera can. Yeah, so those are 2 lines. You can see that. So this is definitely one of the pregnancy tests. Proof that I'm not lying. So I remember my husband immediately was like, congratulations. And I'm one of those women where I'm never super like excited, or like you see women crying, like, you know, praising God and everything. It's quite overwhelming for me. Like the first time with my son, we were also not trying to get pregnant. My husband and I had been just enjoying being newlyweds. And if you're like us, and like our journey, we are worship leaders, so we come from that Christian background where we were striving to save sex from marriage as a goal. And yeah, by that time we got married. We had dated for 5.5 years. We were burning with passion, and it's just that time where a lot of people end up, you know, getting pregnant because those desires have just been suppressed for so long. And I had not been on long-term birth control. So yeah, exactly 1 year after my wedding, I found out I was pregnant, and it was a surprise. And one of the ladies from my church counseled me, and she has an amazing story. She's a survivor of rape. She got pregnant from rape when she was 15 years old. She has an organization where she empowers women who have experienced domestic violence and sexual abuse. And she encouraged me, and she told me, Violet, you have to accept this baby, otherwise you put a spirit of rejection on the baby. And I remember having one of my first ultrasounds with my son and just seeing his little legs kick, and I felt love. And it wasn't easy, so it's always kind of that process for me where it's an intense thing. And because I'm a mom, I know the responsibility. I know that being pregnant isn't easy, being a mom isn't easy. So it always takes me a while to kind of feel excited about it. So yeah, if you're not feeling excited, if you're like me, many times it's something that has to grow on you. You come around later, and especially once the baby is there, you get to know the child. Like, I love my son so much. I've known him for 5 years. Like, you see all those little things about them, but they're a stranger. And even in Psalm 139, it says, that we have been formed in our mother's womb. Like, I don't know this child. Like, I remember going for an ultrasound, and I was just looking, and the baby was like, having fun in there. I'm like, what's going on in there? Like, God is in control in this. So yeah, it hasn't been an easy process, and I think kind of around like 5-6 weeks after the first month, a lot of women start experiencing the symptoms. So I'll just try and do a quick run through. There was just a lot of fatigue, like crippling fatigue. It was super hard for me to just wake up and get my son ready for school. I was just exhausted, just very depleted, no energy. The whole of April, I was just down. I was on bed rest or on the couch. Like, I just couldn't do anything, couldn't go out. The nausea became just terrible, and the vomiting started, and it became so intense. I would just eat some days, like the whole day, everything I would eat, I would just puke. The vomiting was really, really bad, and I would even be struggling with choking on my food, and I would literally feel like I'm gonna pass out. There were just so many symptoms. I had terrible back pain. I even had to get like diclofenac, which is like really strong painkillers. Some days my back would be hurting like the whole day. I would be having terrible body pains, even like malaria or like a cold, where you're like shivering. I'd have hot flashes. I remember my doctor was like, it's not a hot flash, it's not menopause. But that's what it felt like to me, and it was just so intense. But I was just going through, like, this is constantly like 1 month every day of just feeling so sick. I remember my skin turned like gray, and I even had a conversation recently with my sister, and she was like, Violet, you're looking so much better. Like, I came to see you, and like, I didn't want to say anything. She's such a sweetheart, but she didn't want to discourage me because I was already in such a bad state. But she was like, even just the way you were holding yourself and your skin, like, I broke out really bad. There was actually a particular cover I did, Jessica Simpson's I Wanna Love You Forever. Like, you can see like my skin had broken out really bad. I was so sick. I shouldn't have even tried recording that song. Like, I was just in such a bad state. And I'm grateful for the grace of God. I'm feeling so much better energy wise. Like, I can get my son ready for school. Today I went for a 30-minute walk. I'm not so used to using this, still getting used to it. Thanks to my husband for sorting out my sound. But yeah, it was just extremely rough. And the spectrum of sickness is just so different. There are some women who don't struggle. I remember reading an interview with Lindsay Lohan recently, and she has a son. I think he was born last year, and she said the pregnancy was smooth. And just by the way she said it, like, I was just like, kind of envying. But I really relate to people like Kelly Clarkson when she talks about her pregnancies. I would read about Princess Catherine of Wales, the wife of Prince William, about how she struggled with hyperemesis gravidarum. I read an interview of her just the other day, and she said, well, she was sick during her pregnancies most of the time. So she said she's not the happiest of pregnant women. So if you're pregnant and you're struggling, like, I've dealt with a lot of sadness, feeling depressed. Sometimes I'll be feeling great. Like, let me just show you kind of some of the progression. I think I had said, I'm not sure, but like, I'm kind of halfway now. So I don't want to say the weeks, but we're getting halfway, and there's still a lot of room for growth. And I'm one of those people, it's mostly my belly that grows. I have some height, so I carry the baby well. But yeah, hopefully you can see that's some of what I have. I did a photo shoot. You can go to my community tab. I was actually wearing this dress, and yeah, so that's kind of where we are at. And please let me know if you would like, ladies, I can do like maternity wear, dressing. This is my second time, like, this is four. This is my second pregnancy, so I've figured a lot of stuff out, so I can definitely just do some looks. We can talk about like maternity dressing and tips and things like that. So let me know in the comments if you would like that. Give it a thumbs up if you would like that. But yeah, so I was saying it was just a really, really difficult time. And then I just feel like the world is not built for us as pregnant women. You need a lot of support, you need a supportive spouse. And I'm super grateful to my husband because during my first trimester, he tried so hard, constantly going to shop, just buying food and things that I need because it's such a challenging time. You're having cravings, you have food aversions, heightened sense of smell. During all of my pregnancies so far, I've hated like onions, the smell of cooked onions, just the sight of them, even YouTube videos, just the smells of detergents, even things like perfume. There's just so many things that put you off and you get sick. And in the first trimester, it's hard to eat, like you're starving, but at the same time, like you're so put off. And even now, like I haven't been my normal self. I'm pretty much halfway, but especially a lot of drinks just to digest and keep food down. It's been tricky, but my body has been craving a lot of nourishing, healthy foods that are too sweet. It's like, no, like I love carrot cake normally, and lately like I just can't stand it. Like a lot of these fresh cream cakes, I normally love them, but my body's just like, no. So your life is changed. I would look at my husband and my son and other people eating and enjoying, and you suffer a lot, you're alone a lot, you're isolated. And I find in life, whenever you are not doing well, a lot of people don't check on you. And even for like my church community, I was super active in a praise team at my church, and both times, when I've been sick, just being secluded, being at home, I find a lot of the times, people don't check on you. I'm not trying to hate anyone, but just trying to be real with how it is. And I'm just in a season of life, I don't have loads of friends, so it definitely has not been easy.